Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Call of Duty has had a lot of complaints tossed its way, especially in the recent few weeks as we've seen Black Ops 7 revealed. And of course, there are some standard ones, issues with the game that persist every single year because they are like overarching issues with Call of Duty that they need to address on a global scale. Things like the cheating situation, the server situation, that stuff is persistent year after year, and they just don't really respond to it well. We see some anti-cheat updates here and there. They don't do all that much. It seems like, at least for prolonged periods of time. We know that Ricochet needs some vast improvements. We'll see what happens with Black Ops 7. COD is long overdue for server upgrades and server updates to increase the tick rate, to increase how gameplay actually feels. They'd solve a lot of issues by doing those things. The other major complaint that has really skyrocketed in the past few days, ever since the Black Ops 7 reveal, though, is of course Call of Duty's look. The cosmetics, the skins, the blueprints, the craziness of them. And this is not a new conversation by any means. This has been a large complaint, especially in the recent years, as COD has begun to go more extreme with the ridiculousness. Now, some people it appeals to. Like, there are skins in the game that are very much so out there. We've got Ninja Turtles and Nicki Minaj and Snoop Dogg and, all sorts of anime characters and sharks dressed as people and Beavis and Butthead. We've got a million wild looking skins that truly don't fit in Call of Duty, but they make them, they do those crossovers because there clearly is an audience for them. There is also a very, very loud audience, the vocal majority, but the player-based minority that is very much so against these skins. And the conversation as of late has been, what is Call of Duty doing here? What is the identity here that they're going for? It doesn't really feel like it's a FPS military shooter game, even though that's what COD is at its core. It's not a realism game by any means, but what is the identity? Because you can't really tell that this is Call of Duty when you have some of these ridiculous skins going on. And again, for some people, those skins are cool and fun and they'll go out and buy them, and that's fine. Spend your money on what you enjoy. Other people, not fans of them. This problem that has risen to new heights as of late could be solved so easily. And yet, for some reason, Call of Duty, I know the reason really, we'll get to it. But for some reason, Call of Duty just does not want to comment on this. They don't want to address this. They don't want to implement it. Call of Duty having a cosmetic filter, the ability to turn off skins that are not based to the game, that are not specific to the current game, whatever the case is. We'll talk about options later on into the video, but a skin filter or a cosmetic filter would solve this massive complaint in COD so easily. And from my POV here, you can share your opinion on this down in the comments below. I implore you to do so. I encourage it as always. From my POV, the only reason a skin filter would be bad in Call of Duty is not for any players. The only thing it does is limit Call of Duty's marketing ability. Essentially, having these skins run around when you are going through Warzone, when you're going through multiplayer, anything right now, it doesn't matter, and you see someone running around as Beavis and Butthead or a Ninja Turtle or a shark human hybrid thing that we've got going on, that's marketing. The same way that going around in a Jordan shirt or a Gucci shirt or whatever the case is, right? Like, that is marketing in a sense. You wear that because it gets attention and people see them like, oh, I want that shirt. That looks cool. You're like, that's what it is. Players are marketing the store for Call of Duty when they purchase bundles and they use those skins in game. This works for every single skin in the game, not just the outlandish, ridiculous ones, but everything. It's just extremely loud when it comes to the ridiculous skins. So if they were to implement a skin filter or a cosmetic filter, it just limits the potential for that marketing. However, as I mentioned earlier, this vocal majority of players who are kind of sick of the crazy skins that want Call of Duty to maybe just be more on theme. It's not like you can't have interesting crossovers. Modern Warfare 2019 was an example of this. Yes, you had some more ridiculous skins in the game. There were anime skins, there were some interesting crossovers and stuff, but they still had a sort of military-esque theme to them. They were dressed out in loadout gear, like it was combat gear. It wasn't straight up just Beavis and Butthead running around, right? You could at least try and do some more crazy stuff and stay on theme with the game rather than just going all in. This has nothing to do with COD, but it's here. That's just my 2 cents. Like, there's a place for maybe some weirder stuff, but it doesn't need to go as overboard as it's gone lately. But This has been a big problem, especially when you talk about the future here with Black Ops 7, obviously, because they did confirm carry forward or carryover is going to take place. So Black Ops 7 at launch is just going to be Black Ops 7 stuff, and that's the way to go. It's going to be all fresh, all new. For the most part, all the skins and cosmetics in the game at launch are grounded in whatever the game is. Now, 2035 is where Black Ops 7 is set. Some of the skins are going to be a little bit more advanced and maybe out there looking like what we've already seen with the Vault Edition stuff, but it's still on theme for the game. They won't be too ridiculous, flashy, just makes no sense to have it, right? But then in season 1, they're introducing carry forward. So all your Black Ops 6 weapons, operators, and operator skins are coming in. That means Beavis and Butthead, all your other crazy skins from Black Ops 6 are gonna be there yet again, from all the weird crossovers and wild things that they've introduced throughout the store this year. Those will be there, and that takes away the identity of Black Ops 7 right away, which is a big complaint going on. One of the largest complaints in the community right now. So much so that you've actually had the devs talk about it in a very ambiguous way. We just covered this the other day. I'm not sure what day this video is going up. I'm recording it a few days in advance here, but the devs did just confirm, and we mentioned this in a video, that they are aware of how the community is kind of upset with the way the identity of Call of Duty has gone. At least when it comes to cosmetics, they're aware of the feedback regarding how these games look when they have these ridiculous skins, and they're, quote, taking that feedback into consideration. They are listening to the community. Are they going to act on it? We don't know. This is the most Call of Duty-esque reply to the situation is, oh, yeah, we hear the feedback. We're taking that into consideration. They won't commit to acting on it. They won't commit to, a full response that's specific in any way, which is pretty frustrating considering how vocal this issue has become and how loud the community against this has become in recent times. But this all defaults back to this could be solved in a way that does not hurt the player base. Sure, little Timmy over here can't flex that he has this skin from the store if someone turns it off. But the reality is, as I alluded to earlier, the vocal majority is upset with the way that COD's identity has gone and the cosmetics in game. That's not the player base majority by any means. So adding in a skin filter is really only capitalized on by those who don't care for the skins. Now, again, at the end of the day, these are just skins. They don't actually matter in game. Like, this is something completely optional. You don't have to buy any of these. If you don't want to look at them, a skin filter could solve that. And it's only appealing for those people. That's not going to be the majority of the player base. So it's not like it's something that completely ruins the game for any other actual players. Again, it just limits some of that marketing there. But with this skin filter, it is a solution to this problem that works for everyone. If you are okay with the way that COD skins are and all the cosmetics, however crazy they may be, awesome. Continue playing the game as you please and nothing changes for you. You just get to play Call of Duty. If you're not a fan of Ninja Turtles and Beavis and Butthead and everybody else, right? Then you can turn the skin filter on. And there are so many ways they could go about this. You could have a situation where it's Black Ops 7 skins only, so that when you go through and you play Black Ops 7, Warzone is a different beast because you kind of expect carryover there, and it is what it is. It's definitely, I think, more of a concern in multiplayer where you are taking away directly from the identity of the game having the carryover, where Warzone's identity is kind of having it all mashed together in the first place. Maybe that's a discussion for a different day, but you could have like a Black Ops 7 only cosmetic filter, so the only things you're seeing in game are on brand for Black Ops 7, whether it be some of the more futuristic skins like from the Vault Edition, whether it be store bundles they eventually drop that maybe are crazy, but they're at least specific to Black Ops 7. It's not Beavis and Butthead spammed in every lobby. You could have a skin filter where maybe it's just realism only or military themed stuff only, where you only see players in combat gear. If that's what you want to see to it, because it's a little bit more immersive to play Call of Duty in that scenario, that could be an option. Again, it hurts Call of Duty's marketing. Does Call of Duty need help with marketing these days? Maybe they do, because Black Ops 7's not going over that well so far. Anyway, I digress. A mil-sim only or a military-esque only skin filter could work as well. You could even add in skin filters for if you wanted to make the game a little bit more crazy, and they could go overboard on marketing and have like a store bundle only filter for players who want that. Like, if you put options in for a skin filter, you're giving players an ability to customize their gameplay and their experience in a way that we haven't been afforded in the past. And I think truly it only benefits the players, which Call of Duty is not always for that. It seems like they're definitely oh, how can we make money first and then benefit the players? It's never always the player first in situations like this, right? Especially when you're talking cosmetics, which is such a huge deal, microtransactions for Call of Duty these days. But Quite literally, a skin filter goes in and addresses this problem, I think, in the best possible way. And this is not a new conversation, as mentioned. I saw a tweet from T-Dog Smitty, the GOAT, the other day, saying, I speak for everyone when I say it's time for a skin filter in COD, and it has like almost 20,000 likes and 1 million views just on Twitter. Like, this is something people have wanted for some time, and the call for it, the call to action and request for it have skyrocketed in recent days when they do say, yes, carry forward's coming to Black Ops 7. This is another game that people are already skeptical about, rightfully so. We'll have to learn more about it at next and actually see and feel some multiplayer gameplay in the beta, I think, to make final conclusions on it. But when you announce carry forward, you do diminish some hype. You do take away from the game's identity, even though its identity might be a little bit out there already, set in the future with some more advanced stuff. But like, this is a solution, and it's a very good one at that, in my opinion. People may disagree, and like I said, feel free to drop your thoughts down in the comments below. But this is something COD could do if they wanted. The tech actually already exists. When you're watching the CDL matches, for instance, you'll notice that whenever they're spectating a team or a certain player, if it's somebody on, optic or phase, when they switch to the optic POV, every one of those optic players is using an optic skinned blueprint. That's not something that's always there in game. That's actually a tech changing the skin of that, so that if they pick up a gun in game because they run out of ammo, it automatically defaults to an optic skinner. When they switch over to the phase POV, it instantly is on a phase skin on their gun. Like, the tech of showing what's on your screen being different from what they're using in game exists. There are exclusives that are only available on PlayStation for a while. Some operators that you could only get with PlayStation Plus, those skins actually don't show up on PC. It's just a default like milsim operator from the basic faction in the game. Like, the tech exists for this, so that's not an out. That's not an excuse for COD to say, well, we can't do that, we'd have to build something out for it. It's simply a matter of, would Call of Duty sacrifice a little bit, and again, because this is the vocal majority, player-based minority looking for this feature, sacrifice a little bit of marketing to appease a very loud community and a very loud chunk of their player base? I've repeated this line, but I truly do see this as a solution that is so obvious for COD. And I hope it's something that, in their very vague response of, oh, we're taking this feedback into consideration, it's something that actually is acted upon, because I think this would be basically a universal win for the community. Players who don't care about skins aren't affected negatively here. Players who do care about skins can customize the experience how they see fit. If anyone out there from Call of Duty is watching this video, I hope you take this feedback into consideration. If you want to help get more attention on this video, get more eyes on this subject, a fantastic way to do so is by simply leaving a like on the video. It truly does help share it around and get new eyes on it. And of course, if you're new to the channel, you want to ensure you're always up to date with everything going on in COD. If COD were to respond to this situation, if they make any actual updates in game addressing this, you'll find out about it here first. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. But that's going to wrap things up for this little rant/ramble. If you made it all this way, I truly do appreciate you watching. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.